cutting-edge guests, awesome, uncensored, jaw-dropping information, plus funny memes, good deeds, and loads of laughter. Kind of have it all. Ladies and gentlemen, if your soul's awake, then welcome, because you're in the right place. All right, you divine lions, lionesses, here we are on Fuck It Friday. Lots of FAFO in Britain and the United Kingdom. The UK has had enough, and I, Brad Wozny, am joined by funny man, professional comedian, turned balls to the wall investigative journalist Callum Smiles. He's back here with me to do a deep dive into the mass awakening sweeping from Britain and beyond on his side of the pond, the explosive new UFO files dropping, massive collapse of the globalist leadership, and with millions around the world from Alberta to Argentina and Ireland to Iran finally standing up and saying enough is enough as one. What's next for humanity? This is about love, levity, and liberty. Patriots are united and rising as one worldwide. This is the Great Awakening because the deep state, WHO, the WEF have FA'd and now they are FOing. We'll see you soon in the live chat.
One of the most interesting words in the English language today is the word fuck. It is a magical word. Besides the sexual meaning, there are also the following uses. Ignorance, fucked if I know. Trouble, I guess I'm fucked now. Fraud, I got fucked at the used car lot. Aggression, fuck you. Displeasure, what the fuck is going on here?
Well, there you go. You have to have it said with an Indian accent, the different variations of the word for Fuck It Friday. Now, it has been that I came up with a Scottish accent toward the end there, right? Freedom! Fucking A! There we go. Grab your kilt, your caber, and your jacksies. So, yes, I have 48 accents I can do. I had a professional voice coach back in the day, but that was a long time ago. There was a real professional comedian once again coming back. Here, this is his second or third appearance on Fuck It Fridays over the last years, everybody. And it's a true honor to have him because once again, you know, when we had the lockdowns, COVID, pandemic 6 years ago, there were things we were all doing individually in our own lives that, boom, we hit this wall. We had to figure out what we were going to do next. And then when we felt something in our heart, in our gut that was off, and we chose to stand on the right side of history in our own unique ways and our talents, we reconfigured and we got after it. And that's what Callum Smiles did. And now he is one of the greatest investigative journalists in the world. And as far as I'm concerned, people know Nick Shirley in the States, right? We've saw Nick Shirley with Tommy Robinson in the UK, walking in that march of millions and millions of Brits just last weekend. Well, here's Callum, who goes right into the lion's den. Really, it's a den of jackals as far as I'm concerned, and snakes, and chases them. If you don't know who this man is right now, then I want you to click the link below the description for Callum Smiles Media and follow him on Vox Populi as well, if you are following them, but you follow him and support him directly. Because here's the clip. Remember, the hunters are now the hunted, and Callum is hunting down the hunters right now, and in Davos with the microphone and all of his intellect and wit. Here it is.
Answer some of these questions. Mr. Gates, what do you think about the HHS lowering the vaccine schedule in the USA? Is that a good thing or a bad thing? Mr. Gates, given the complications that came out from the COVID vaccine, do you think that it was actually wrong to push such a thing on the world? No answers? Mr. Gates, can you at least accept now that it is public domain and common knowledge that the COVID vaccine was basically a failure? Can you accept that and at least apologize to the world for getting it wrong? It's okay to get things wrong if you admit you get things wrong when you are wrong. Can you do that? Come on, Bill. The theme of the WEF this year is spirit of dialogue. Let's have a conversation, an open dialogue. Can you answer some of these questions? Okay, how about ignore these questions if there were complications with the COVID vaccine and you got things wrong and people were harmed and died? Bill, can you at least answer one of those questions? Well, actually, you're walking in my way. Bill, often they say, you know, we should trust the experts when it comes to vaccination. Yeah, how are you an expert? You work in computers, you don't work in medicine. Yet you seem to know so much about it. Why can't we answer these? Bill, are these people telling you what to do because you are losing your mind? You don't look very with it today. Mr. Gates? No. Now, he's being pushed around. He almost looks like Joe Biden towards the end of his premiership, where he would just walk aimlessly around the place. Almost like maybe he's had too many vaccines and it's causing brain damage.
And here he is, everybody. The incredible Callum Smiles. How you doing, my friend? Welcome.
I'm such a knob.
It just flies out of the head. It's awesome. This is a yes and show, right? I've done my improv level 1 at Second City, Toronto. So yes and everybody. It's a yes and show.
Joe, I saw that video just went on Instagram last night, you know, as you do, and that video was just at the top of the thing on somebody put it on their channel. Now I was watching it back, and then I was going through the comments, and people were like, "Oh my god, oh that's so brave! Like, did you think about it?" I was like, honestly, I wasn't thinking about if this is brave or not. If I was, I probably wouldn't have done it. I just can't help myself but be a knobhead.
Well, yeah, I mean, on our last show, you know, we were showing the clips because you had just come back from there, and you were chasing down Burla Trudeau with Katy Perry in the streets. Other people, like, it was, I mean, awesome. Christine Lagarde, you were hacking her. Oh, incredible.
Your old Premier Trudeau.
Yeah.
Still gutted. I didn't ask him if he was Castro's son.
Yeah.
There's something, you know when it's done and you go, oh no, I'll never get
You're in the
job.
zone. Yeah, I know. You're in the zone. It was awesome. I mean, yeah, he is Castro's son, and he just might be a Justine, right? Matter of fact, going there for a moment, everybody. We talk about Hollywood and everything. They're going to bring it back because the spotlight is on Britain for the most part right now. Elon and Russia just made some posts about it. We'll go over there in a moment. But this, like, they've been rubbing in our face for so many years. Did you guys ever watch the show Friends, or did you have it over there in syndication, Callum?
So I actually only started watching Friends when I saw an article online where it said the generation now finds Friends triggering. I went, okay, I think I like it.
Why? No kidding, eh? No
so literally, I watched it from start to finish after that.
So what did you think about
it? They were on a break. That was clear.
Yeah.
She needs to make her mind up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think she
enjoyed it. It was things are funny because they're funny.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely.
There was no political humor, which I liked.
Yeah. Well, who's your favorite there?
You can't beat Joey.
Rachel or Jennifer Aniston's character?
You can't beat Joey.
You can't beat. No, okay, on the female side. Yeah, Joey's great.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, thinking with the penis. You can't beat Rachel.
Yeah. Okay. This might change your mind. Here we are, everybody. Courtney Love talking about 14 hermaphrodites in Hollywood. Check it out.
Julia Roberts has a pair. I know Madonna has a pair. I think Gwyneth Paltrow has a pair.
Handle your business. But remember, okay, you were in Hollywood, right? Check the name. Check the head of that.
Under no circumstance are you allowed to take off your blindfold. If I find that you have, I will hurt you. Do you understand? Do you understand?
Wait for it.
That's a tough wank.
Wait for it.
Rumor was that you had both male and female reproductive parts.
What? Your parents flipped a coin, decided to raise you as a girl, but you still had a hint of a penis.
Oh my God! You started that? What? You heard that? Everyone in our school heard it.
Everybody at my school heard it. You were the hermaphrodite cheerleader from Long Island?
Oh, no! Oh, my God, this is all making so much sense to me now. This is why Adam Carter wouldn't go out with me. This is why Billy Tratt would just stay in this region.
Actually, Billy Tratt is gay now, so that one's not really our fault.
How come you never told me this? I thought it might be true. And I was afraid that you were going to cry and then show it to me. Joey, stop staring. There's nothing there. It's not true.
I'm a tranny. I'm a man. You do not look in the mirror and not think you're beautiful. I'm a man. What?
I think I've rubbed one out to all of these.
And he just puts on his wig and a dress, and it's me, and you don't know that, and it's the greatest ruse of all time. He just puts on his wig and a dress, and it's me, and
a piece of skin, that came
Yikes,
from
eh? Yikes. It's almost over. It's almost over.
far, far away.
There you go.
And they somehow figured out how to extract its foreskin from a Korean baby.
To me, you know, sweetheart, one day you should settle down and marry a rich man. And I said, Mom, I am a rich man. Give me those.
Wow.
You're such a woman. Oh, you were the woman. No, I'm the man.
So, BBC. I'm sure you've had a few of those. Now we have to go back and figure out what's real true. And that it's all about to come out.
Well, breaking news. I'm a fag. It turns out I like men.
Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. Yeah, there you go. Bringing back common sense anyway. That's a great photo too. You're looking a little more stockier now because just everybody knows, like this guy, he goes out, he plays rugby, he goes out to footy matches. In case anybody is outside of the States, right? We know what football is, but in the States, it's also soccer, right? So yeah.
Actually, I've played one game of rugby this calendar year, and I tore my hamstring.
Ooh, that's a bummer.
And then I was telling myself, I said, right, you've got a snowboarding trip in 3 weeks. You got better start fixing. So I went snowboarding 3 weeks later, which like, fortunately with snowboarding, obviously, if anyone's done it, like your legs are locked in place. So like towards the end of the day, I was like, God, it aches a bit now. In fact, I'll show you a picture of my hamstring because it was, I became like transracial. It was so I went snowboarding with it, and on day 2, I nearly went full on Michael Schumacher, as in really? This week some memories have started coming back. Like I've forgotten people's names that I have known for ages that I see every day. Like my helmet was in pieces, like a good 10 meters away from me. I went down. It was literally went to the ski park to do the jumps. And it was the first jump, and we're going down. It was really poor visibility. Yeah, we're going down, and I looked up. I was like, where does the snow finish and the sky start? And then I remember taking off and waking up. So like my shoulder was absolutely fucked. And so I've only in the past week have I been able to start doing like gym stuff again. So I've just been smashing out press ups and pull ups. But that was that was like a few days after.
Oh yeah, that looks mangled.
And that bruising just like spread for the next week. Oh, we've got a guest.
Yeah.
Hey, Steve.
Oh, excellent. Welcome on. Board. Nicely done. Yeah, he's looking after Dad. So were you out in Switzerland? Because you know the first thing that stuck out to me in Switzerland there wasn't even a rope of just saying, yeah, just 5,000 foot drop, 3,000 meters, 2,000, 1,500, whatever. It's just like, yeah, you're going along and running, and all of a sudden, it kind of looks like it drops off there, and then you skid to a stop, and then you look
the
over
Swiss wall.
and you're like, what? Yeah.
We did the Swiss wall an hour before I knocked myself out.
There you go. That's probably what
the
happened.
Swiss wall was piss easy in comparison. I stayed on my feet.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey,
I just thought
it was the first jump. That's the most annoying thing. I didn't get to do any jumps because it was the first jump.
Yeah, and you probably went 100 feet. And you don't even remember.
God knows. Literally, I have no recollection of being airborne.
Moral of the story, pull a hamstring, don't go snowboarding in Switzerland. Yeah. Hardcore, mate. Hardcore. All right, so for Britain for one moment, let's just focus on, like, there's a lot of attention that's showing up because it's interesting to watch the waves that come out, right? Like, okay, Irish Patriots 3 weeks ago. Awesome. They're out there. And then it kind of is like a cycle that immediately drops, and then something else will pop up on X. So we had Tommy, Nick Shirley out there, and everybody in your neck of the woods. And then it dropped off right after Sunday afternoon. Then it drops off. And then all of a sudden today, if anybody didn't see this, here we are on Friday, Elon Musk posting this. Now I'm going to play the video for everybody because, Callum, there are people that I've known for the last few years, new, Patriot Friends Awakening, that had no idea about the arrests that have been happening over where you are, right? So let me play this video to give everybody a little bit of context that Elon Musk reposted today.
So last week, the Telegraph published an article that I featured in talking about the far right's new weapon, right? Glamorous young women, which is pretty ridiculous because the only weapon that I have here in the United Kingdom is my mouth to speak the truth. And even that could be used against me. People are going to prison for it. So, I don't really care what this article had to say. I mean, I was interviewed for it. Over the phone, I said what I had to say. And then this has come about. I don't care what people think of me. Like I said in the interview, people can think X, Y, Z. It really doesn't bother me. There is too much at stake to be quibbling about what John down the road might think of me or what Abdul might think. I really don't care. And no, you shouldn't, because you shouldn't give these people any power whatsoever. So yeah, I just thought that was really interesting, the way that it was framed, because when I was spoken to on the phone, I didn't know how it was going to be framed, and I was a little bit worried after. I think this has done our side a lot of favors, because once you get the women on board, which more women are definitely on board, that is how you know you are going to win and you are on the right path. So there are many more that are yet to come over, and it's a great thing, and they can't really slander us anymore because we don't care. We literally, in one ear and out the other. So I don't care.
Glamorous women are the enemy. She epitomized it. So give a little bit of context for everybody in the international audience, Callum, what's been happening in the last few months. We've been sharing it, but people are tuning in now.
Well, where would you like to start? We're fucked. But it's Fuck It Friday. Well, here it's Fuck It Every Day. It's the UK is in a very interesting place. I mean, for example, did you see a few months ago some Mohammedans fighting police in Manchester Airport?
I saw a couple of videos like this. Do you mean because this is right outside? I thought this video was from Toronto, but it turns out it's right outside your apartment. I'm going to play this here. Everybody tune into this as Callum then goes back to sharing what he was about to share. So that could be Calgary or Toronto or Tehran before Trump was going in there and taking it out. There's still in Nigeria. So tell us about what happened.
The irony is that's a Whitechapel.
Exactly. Whitechapel.
I don't know if you've seen actually the tube station, the subway for you across the pond, in Whitechapel also has it in Urdu.
Farsi, Urdu, okay.
Pashtun. Urdu. So they have. So it says Whitechapel tube station, and it also says that in Urdu.
Yeah,
I think it's Urdu, but anyway, some foreign squiggly shit. So in the UK, we've just had yesterday 2 men basically freed from court after they started a fight with police in Manchester Airport. One of them bust a female copper's nose, full on, like, squared her right in the face, because we now have a sectarianism issue. So it very much feels like, and I would put all my money on the fact that this is a sectarian issue, because the jury couldn't come to an agreement. Now, I'm guessing of that jury, there were a lot of people that look after their own no matter what.
Right.
The evidence, you can see the evidence everywhere. You can go on Twitter and look up, Manchester Airport fight or police punch to Manchester Airport, and it's not doctored footage. That is the actual CCTV footage, and they've just been let go. Whereas you have Lucy Connolly, who in a moment of anger goes, "Oh, well, you know what? Burn them down for all I care." So gave an opinion, didn't give an instruction, gave an opinion, yet she did time. Hard time in prison. Yet we have these other people literally fighting the police in an airport. Let go. Free to roam back in society.
Yeah. 12,800 arrests is what the statistic was on the weekend that came up. Of those in the United Kingdom who were arrested for social media posts that disagreed with Starmer and the government. And thousands of those people are in prison. The other thousands got taken.
There was one guy, was his name Wayne Broadhead or something? Died in prison.
Died in prison for a Facebook.
There's one guy the other year who basically got arrested for social media posts. And he's dead. Wayne Broadhurst, Broadchurch? Something like that. I forget the exact name, but
yeah, and you have
dead.
Kirill Dmitriev of the Russia, right? Number 2 to Putin, who negotiates all the trade deals, just posted this a few hours ago. Kier seems racist. White lives matter. And this is in a reply to Kevin Sorbo. Remember the guy who played Tarzan back in the 90s, right? Sorbs saying, FYI, this is Keir Starmer, the Prime Minister of the UK, kneeling for fentanyl addict George Floyd, who died of an overdose. He hasn't said a word about Henry Nowak, the British kid who was stabbed to death by an Indian man in his own country. And on Henry Nowak, which just happened, it was the guy who stabbed him was a student who had a Kirpan, 22-inch long religious knife around his neck, and went after him. And in the video footage, Henry Nowak, bleeding to death from stab wounds, is trying to jump over a fence to get away. And the guy just grabbed him and hacked him to death right there. And
well, no, so do you know he actually died in custody?
He died in custody of his.
They made the claim that it was a racist attack by him. They cuffed him whilst he was bleeding out, and he bled out whilst cuffed.
And he is the one being stabbed.
Yeah. Welcome to broken Britain.
Yeah.
We've also just had actually yesterday 3 gypsy teenagers gang raped a girl at knife point. It's the second girl they've done it to, and the Judge Nicholas Raymond, I think his name is off the top of my head. Anyway, they've been released and given a youth rehabilitation order because that's what those that gang rape at knife point deserve. Because after doing it not once but doing it twice, that I'm sure that'll stop these people from doing it. Actually, if that was my son, I'd kill him. I'd put him down because I think I clearly got this one wrong. This batch didn't cook very well. My son's a dangerous society. Yet we have judges that literally go, "Oh no, they just need a rehabilitation order." You know, we all make mistakes. Yeah. Meanwhile, those two poor girls, they'll never be the same again.
Yeah, it's everywhere. 2 weeks ago, the weekend before, the Brits did the march last weekend in Edmonton, Alberta, which is, it goes to minus 40 to 50 degrees below zero, almost 7 months of the year.
Shorts weather.
Right. They had over 10,000 Sikhs at some religious gathering, and they were praising the bomber. Remember Lockerbie, Scotland? The Air India bombing? They were praising that bomber, and the police are doing nothing. So we went from this 6 years ago. This is what we had to deal with in 2020. And the judges, men and women dressed up, supporting that, law enforcement supporting that, to this today, which I think is pretty apt. Let's read that. Right?
Racist.
Yeah. So what happens next over there? What after Sunday, and we haven't heard much, what's the next step? Does Tommy have anything planned, or does the British government have anything planned?
From what I've heard, there's a journalist called Dan Hodges who actually that evening says that he's been speaking to friends of Starmer. I mean, I didn't know he had any friends, but apparently he is going to set out a timetable to resign, which is one, good for me because I put $4,500 on it for this year, and two, well, good for the country because it means we get the next stooge in, and then people will think that, oh, good, things will change and they'll be just as shit, if not shitter, and they'll see, no, they're all terrible. Let's completely abandon them. Which hopefully will be Andy Burnham.
So you think they're all going to hang out, Bojo, Sunak, and Starmer, all just hanging out on a boat somewhere with Trudeau and Katy Perry? And
hopefully with
Oh man, that's wild. That's wild. I think it's time they got a bust move. I don't know if you've seen this one. You know what a mullet is, right? Everybody knows what mullets
mullet.
Are. Right? Yeah, a mullet.
Yeah, I gave myself a blue mullet when I went to Calais pretending to be a charity worker.
Wow, that doesn't surprise me.
And I had a them name badge.
Hello, my name is. Yeah. Yeah, with the blue mullet.
Let me get
full shave on the sides.
Yeah, and it was about like this sort of length, but shade the sides. Let me find out. It was an absolute cracker.
Yeah. Oh, hi, I'm here with the Red Cross. I'm a volunteer to help. Yeah. Give you the bill.
We had we created our own charity. And I want you to say the acronym out loud. So it was Socialist Organized Youth.
Love it. Soy. That's awesome.
We were Soy Calais.
What? Oh, that's excellent. That's excellent. That's excellent. This is what that's all about. You guys should do this one.
This is a jam for all the fellas. Try to do what those ladies tell us. Get shot down because you're overzealous. Play hard to get females to jealous. Okay, smarty, go to a party. Girls are scantily clad and showing body. A chick walks by, you wish you could sex her, but you're standing on the wall like you was Poindexter. Next day's function, high class luncheon. Food is served and you're stone cold munching. Music comes on, people start to dance, but then you ate so.
You nearly split your pants. So here we go. Yeah, that was most requested song whenever I do weddings with buddies. Ooh, you've even got it. Oh yeah, that is great. Send that link over, and I'll put it in. I'll show it up here to everybody. That is fantastic. All with the rainbow as well. Love it. Love it. Love it. Yeah.
WhatsApp it, you know.
Living it up. Living it up. That is what it's all about. That is what it's all about. You know, I mean, the reason, okay, here's the thumbnail for everybody who's brand new, right? The reason that I started Fuck It Friday is putting the fun in the funk of life was because, you know, comedy, levity, part of the creed for the Sovereign Soul show, love, levity, liberty. Levity means two things. It has a meaning for laughter, like laughter is the best medicine. I think Reader's Digest pointed that out perfectly back in the day. And because I would just go right to reading the jokes in Reader's Digest whenever my mom got them. And then the other one's elevate your vibration, right? You can see the darkness, but you got to stay as much lighthearted as possible and calling it out. Well, kind of taking this because we had it globally, the same problems globally, right? Whether it's ticks and the vaccines to euthanize everybody, genocide, sterilize, all that kind of stuff. And then also what we were just covering off down in your neck of the woods, where it was Whitechapel, but it's really not. This was, yeah, Mamdani Zorani. I still can't pronounce his exact name. Who won the mayorship? Is bringing in Sharia law in New York City. So I want to play this clip because here's how Karens, they also know them as white liberals in New York, celebrated. And this is a real clip. This is not AI. This is not made up. This is real.
Starts now, absolutely. Zahran Mamdani, Islamic Caliphate, our brother in Islam.
She said they're cheering for Sharia law starting now in his win. So I'll continue this for another 20, 30 seconds.
Well, would you look at that? 43 Muslims have been elected into office this last election. And I know you all have seen all the videos of the women super excited across the country celebrating the fact that they can't wait for Sharia law to come in and liberate them. So I thought, why not take a deep dive into what Sharia law is? What is so exciting? Let's go. First, fathers are able to contract their daughters, whether minors or adults, in marriage. So liberating. Second, men are able to legally wed little girls as young as 8 years old, as long as they're menstruating. 3, if a woman is raped, she must have 4 male witnesses to attest to it. Freedom! 4th, a woman who was raped cannot testify in court against her rapist. In marriage, women are only allowed to have 1 husband, but husbands, they can have up to 4 wives.
Wow.
Freedom!
Yeah. Holy cow.
Yeah, do you know, I think any woman that does that should just be sent there.
Yep. Absolutely.
Just one-way ticket. One-way
That's
ticket.
what you want.
And if you want to come back, you must have 4 men agree that you can come back.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, they might just see women like this, right?
Starts now, absolutely.
And go, no, they're too much Karen. You take them, and send them back. Right?
Yeah.
No, we don't want them.
Yeah, I remember seeing. I remember reading an article. God, it might be about 10 years ago now. Actually, it's a lot of like UK jihadis that went to the Middle East. Were basically wanting to come back because they didn't like it, because basically they weren't Muslim enough, as in like the European jihadis, like they didn't fit in, because turns out they actually quite like Western things.
Wow.
And they weren't fitting in, and they wanting to come home.
Man.
But yeah, send them back.
That's wild. Yeah, that kind of tells it all as far as I'm concerned. I have a clip here from 2 days ago. So in New York, he's been on the show 2-3 times. Scott Lebedo, anybody can go to Amazon, I think on Netflix too, and watch The Relentless Patriot. Now, I'll pull it up here for afterwards so people can have a reference point for this man. So again, with art, so Callum has intellectual wit as well as crushing it on the comedic side and can leverage that truths. No, you didn't. You didn't, right? How much were you riding on though? Were you betting to see bet against how long it would take? So you can use these talents, right? You don't have to be out there. Words are the greatest weapon, as well as forms of art. So here's Scott with an unveiling, and in his lovely way, telling everybody exactly what he thinks in New York. I'm going to play this. It's about a minute and a half.
Hello, boys and girls. We are here at Shitty Hall. The artist that is successful is the artist that can capture the emotions of his village. Here, in my sculpture that I created, is a gift to the mayor, Ma'am Dandy of New York City, and it's also a gift from the people of New York. I give you Vafangola.
Like that.
There you go, right? Yeah, exactly. Mafangula, right to all of that. And if anybody wants to see a couple of the shows have done that, incredible man, Scott Levato. It's on the Rumble channel. Relentless Patriot Scott Levato on Cabal's Kamala. This is last little over a year ago. Trump's Meg and how we the people beat the deep state. And there's the thumbnail right there. So you'll see myself.
I'd like to meet that guy.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, he's incredible. I mean, his last time he's here, there's a fucking Friday. So the fucking Friday people can search on Rumble or the Telegram chats for the Relentless Patriot, Scott Levato, on Broken Truths. So here we are. And, I mean, it's just, you're going to love that guy. Absolutely. And, you know, Lieutenant Colonel Ricardo Bosi in Australia, I got a text from him like 2 years ago. Brad, do you know Scott Levato? I'm like, no. I'm like, okay, you know, we would love to have him on Australia One Party, right? Just imagine Bosi, Levato, both Italian backgrounds, right? But Bosi born and raised in Australia, Scott in New York, and they have the same amount of F-bomb equivalents, and they are on the right side of history. And so now I get an opportunity to put them together at this point in time. So
good luck, though. Being Italians, they probably only work like 2 hours a day, don't they?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and Scott smokes.
Lazy fucking eye ties.
He goes through 5 packs, and he's like, yeah, breaststroke here. I'm done. Let's go get some wine. Let's go get some food, you know? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he's amazing. He's amazing. Just awesome. So what do you think? What do you think about all this?
What, the artwork?
The artwork and everything that's going on. What's your take?
Well, as we were saying before we went live, like, I'm very open-minded about everything. I've been very doubtful of the Q stuff lately.
Yep.
And, you know, it's not me saying that I don't think it's going to happen. Or rather, no, it's not me saying that I can't be convinced again that it is. But I'm just struggling to see it, right? Especially with all the stuff that basically Trump has gone against everything he said in his manifesto. And like, a lot of the people that I've met literally going around America before the election, a lot of the people that were diehard MAGA, they tell me that they're still MAGA, but he's not.
Wow.
They say he's MIGA, make Israel great again. So yeah, I'm struggling to see how, because it feels like he's losing his base.
Well, great opinions that they're sharing. This is on Fox News yesterday, last night actually, even, right? It's not even nighttime back here in the Americas. I'm pretty sure you haven't seen this clip, but it's coming out en masse about the masks. I think leading up to the awakening. That's my opinion.
This is Vice Admiral Robert Harwood, former CENTCOM deputy commander. Thanks for coming back, sir, and good morning to you. General Keane was with Dane and me yesterday. Let's begin with this analysis, and we'll get on to you. Watch.
The president has exhibited a huge amount of patience here since the ceasefire on April.
Did you see the masks that they're putting out? Anybody can go. Yeah, anybody can go to Twitter, X, whatnot, and just type in mask, M-A-S-K-S. So here you have who is to be former retired Vice Admiral Robert Harwood, who is known as the Navy SEAL SEAL. If you can see that in the image, right where his collar.
Oh yeah.
Neck, right? So here's this. Now, also, this is making its rounds once again. I'm going to add this to the stage of Biden. Everybody, take a look at this. It's a split screen, left and right, of Joe Biden, and who knows? Maybe somebody else playing Joe. We'll see. Here it is.
One of these things is not like the others. One of these things doesn't belong. Can you tell which thing is not like the other by the time I finish this song?
And then I've got one here with potentially Jim Carrey. So let me just play this for everybody. I've done this one a few times over the years.
America, look at me. Look directly into my eyeballs. I trust but verify, as the old saying goes. You can trust me.
They just paid 24%. 22. Just shut up.
Isn't that wild? Who knows? Who knows?
But then on the other side, it could just be that they're fucking with us.
Yep, it absolutely can. Yeah, yeah, and that's something important. I wanted to share once again to everybody in the audience. Like, you do not have to take all of our words for it. You know, trust, verify, go check out some things, come up with your own, because what we've been taught just by virtue of what happened the last 6 years is don't take anything you see for granted. Right, especially what you do in your line of work now.
What do you make of all the Iran stuff? Because like I think that's the thing that really started making me kind of. I'm a firm believer that Charlie Kirk got bumped off because he kept Trump on a lead. You know, I think if Charlie Kirk was around now, they never would have gone into Iran.
Okay,
and the consequences of all that, I'm struggling to see just how it benefits us with all like the price of fuel going up. Yeah, I just don't, and it's more the fact. Okay, I could understand it more if Trump would stick to one narrative, because one day we're told, we've destroyed them all. Their nuclear program is being obliterated. And then the next day it's, We haven't got them all, folks. We got to go back in there. It's like, okay, pick a fucking lane. You're spending your country's money at a rate of knots. Americans have died as a result of you made a promise that we would never, there'd be no more foreign wars under you that America would take part in. And yeah, you one day it's that the program's being destroyed. The next, you got to go and destroy the program. Like, I can't keep up. Beautiful war, beautiful war.
Not a war, a conflict. That's really good.
Make
Really good.
Israel great again.
Well, so my response to everybody would go research the Khazarian Mafia. Go back to Babylon. I mean, your answer is not something to sit here. I'm talking to the audience right now, Callum, but, you know, and addressing the response to your inquiry. Your answer is not to be found in something that was done a day ago, a week ago, or even a year ago. We are 100% spiritual war. You go back to the time of Babylon, research that, research who the bloodlines of Cain are, research who the Khazarian Mafia is, find out where the Khazars were headquartered. I'm not even going to tell people here. I mean, go and find out where the Khazars headquartered, 5th, 6th, 8th, 10th, 12th, 15th century. What happened after that? Where did we see all these incredible inflection points as still recorded in history today? And by the way, is all this history completely real? Right. And then the other side of that coin is then you look at the different dispersions of it was wild. In high school, I blurted out, like, you know, at a retail level, at a wholesale level, you know, all religions are the same. Spirituality, right? You're either good or you're not good. That's it. Right. And you're doing things from good or you're not. But at a retail level, you know, they're all politicized. And as I was sharing with Callum before we came on here, everybody, and I've done a couple times on the shows, like, you got to look at the etymology of words. So mort gage, right? That's two French nouns for death pledge. So you got mortgages in the UK for 100 years. In Canada, it could be 30 years. In the States, it's 2 and a 3 and a 5 and a 10 year, right? Unless you go to the FDA and you get something with the FHA, right? Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac, they can go 30. But then you look at polyticks. Poly means many. Ticks are parasites, even the ones that are dropping from the sky, going all the way back to the 60s, which were originally manufactured in Plum Island, newsflash everybody, which were done by Nazi scientists brought over during Operation Paperclip at the end of World War II. And the World War II did not end. And so we're in 3 to 4 right now. Because if everybody steps back and goes, okay, wait. So Operation Paperclip is real. Wait. CIA docs say that cancer is actually parasites inside our body. And then you could have stuff like, you know, oxygen, and cancer can't survive in an oxygenated environment. And somebody won a Nobel Prize for that in like the 1960s or 70s. All this suppression to bring us to this stage, you know, it's a fair question to have. Everybody should be at a cognitive level of question everything that you see, but don't just take the surface level potential for the answer, grasp that, and go, yeah, that's why. Right? You have to go back to the eons of where we are right now, and that this is now overt at a level that is playing with multiple levers. So, for example, let's go to Iran, right? So it is well known and in the files that Obama gave billions of dollars to the Iranian regime, a regime that is walking around your neighborhoods, Edmonton, Calgary, New York City, that will gang rape women and kids, sell their kids, rape their kids. That type of regime, that type of demonism, as far as I'm concerned. And they want nothing more to convert you or slay and kill you and torture you while on the way out, right? How is that not necessary if that is a headquarters, not the people of Iran, but the regime and control of it, both on planet and below the planet, inside the planet, that are pulling levers and control mechanisms to do all this other stuff that we see around the world, right? So there is a massive nest of vipers that were there. But also, you know, Trump being a very extremely intelligent guy, I can't remember what they said his IQ was. You know, he also speaks to the enemy in press conferences. So that's the type of thing I would go with. And then read the Law of War manual and take a look at actions that have been done, because as you know, going out snowboarding with a pulled hamstring, that you might be doing something.
I couldn't walk.
I was being kind. And but you still got on the snowboard and went to Switzerland anyway. And so, you know, this is a perfect example and an analogy for this 100% worldwide warfare for the continuation of humanity versus absolute Terminator AI enslavement, turn everybody into cyborgs, which like 5 billion people in the world, according to the so-called research that got the jabs, that had millions to thousands or billions of nanobots in it and all that kind of stuff, are owned by Bill Gates as transport genesis. That's the patent, right? In the COVID-19 biological, chemical, radiological, technological weapon, as now in October 2025, designated by the Alliance of Indigenous Nations Tribunal, those are weapons of mass destruction, chemical, biological, radiological, and technological, to COVID-19 vaccines. And then now we just saw over in the Netherlands a couple of weeks ago, finally they admitted it into a legal court of law. And the AIN tribunal is recognized by the United States and the Canadian governments. So then now we're looking at going, so what battle are we fighting? You know, is it just like, let's get a couple billion here and a trillion there? Big fucking deal with that. We're talking about the war, in my opinion, for humanity's soul, right? So that we do not have what we saw in Terminator in 1984. And it's almost at this point. I mean, just look at, you know, Palantir everywhere, and they have all the cameras and the surveillance state that was started in Europe, you know, like 20 years ago, before the first Jason Bourne movie came out. It was and then the UK is pretty much a surveillance state, and now it's pretty much everywhere.
It really is. Like you can go back 20 years.
Hopefully that was helpful for people. I kind of went on a lot of things here, but it all needs to pull into where we are right now.
Go back like 20 years, like the UK was like one of the most heavily CCTV countries on earth. Yeah. It's even more ridiculous now. Like, you just drive down just a normal country road, and next thing you know, there's an ANPR camera. You're like, why is that here? If that's not just there to track who's where. Which, I mean, it would be nice if they could do that for those coming across the channel, but it seems they just want to do it for us British citizens. It's not fun here at the moment.
Yeah. Steal the wealth from the commoners, right? Commonwealth. That's what we're all part of. And they're all corporations too. And returning to
There's one thing I love about, so you mentioned stealing wealth from the commoners. I love it with the British Museum and the National History Museum. Like, you'll get a country go, can we have this thing back? And we just go, no, we're still using it. I absolutely love that shithousery. Although there's one thing we are good at, we do conserve things very well.
Yeah.
I think a lot of these things, if they were just left around these mud huts and all that in third world places, they would just be destroyed. But I just love it when we go, nah, we're still using it.
It's pretty awesome. Yeah. You know, one of the other things, so just talking about citizens in the UK, right? In December 10th, 2024, Northern Traversy has been on here a lot. Incredible patriot, Freedom Convoy, Ottawa, 30 years, hero firefighter, nationally decorated firefighter of the year in Canada, voted by his peers, right? Got the Governor General's Award back in 1999 when we all thought it was like, this means something. And now we know who they are. Well, he petitioned the National Archives, I don't know if you know this, Callum, in Ottawa, and said, I need every verifiable fact that you can show me that Canada has been a country, not a crown corporation, registered in Washington, D.C. on July 1st, 1867. It took them 2 weeks, 3 full-time staff, And the head of, we've shown this several times on the show back then, and the head of the National Archives of Canada in Ottawa, I'm sorry to inform you, out of a 10-page letter of everything that they've done, there's not a shred of evidence that Canada has ever existed as a country. And
I'm not your country, guy.
Right, yeah.
I'm not your country, buddy.
14th colony. When you look at 1776, all the Americans are like 1776. Yeah, right. It's awesome. 13 colonies. The colony of Canada is the 14th colony. Yeah. One comes before. And by the way, your costume that you wore for the inauguration at 47, that was awesome. Just walking around. Tell everybody about that. I won't ruin it, and I'll try and find the link with the picture.
Okay, I can send you it now. Yes, I went.
Yeah,
I went.
Do that. Yeah, it'll save me going back a year and a half in archives.
Yeah, I went as George. Well, everyone thought I went as George Washington. I mean, I did go as George Washington, but I actually Lord Nelson outfit. Purely because I there you go, I'm sending it to you on WhatsApp now. I went on my friend's got a boat in London. We went drinking on it, and I love doing fancy dress. So I just thought one day I'm going as Lord Nelson. And then I thought, actually, that'd make I'll double up as a great George Washington. And it was great. I had literally the New York Times, Washington Post, literally all there in front of the Capitol building, taking photos of me.
Yeah.
Fucking
all right. I don't have that picture. I have the one that you sent me for the previous one we were referencing, and kind of went off on that. So this is the one that was up on Rebel News website before you were fired for saying all the things that Ezra's now saying, and speaking of. So
yeah,
you kind of taught Ezra how to be an investigative reporter here. Rebel News reporter Callum Smiles spent last week working undercover across northern France to investigate what's really happening with the migrant boat. But what he discovers is truly shocking. So, what I'm laughing at is your face. Oh man, yeah, and you've got Callum. I can't blow this up anymore. But yeah, so the name, the Soy Boy Charity, brilliant. Standing for our youth, soy. Awesome. All right, continue.
I forgot what we were saying.
George Washington. Yeah, coming in off the plane from London, I think.
Yeah. When I was, it was. Oh, I wish it was warmer. It was like minus 10 degrees.
Yeah.
Actually, no. I think it was like minus 18.
Mm-hmm.
It was bloody freezing. Sorry, Celsius for all you weird lot over there. Why do you use Fahrenheit? Why?
Imperial, right? You were part of the Imperial, right? They had everything had to be done different.
But right, do you not just think Celsius makes sense? 0 is freezing, 100 is boiling.
Hot.
Like,
I mean, you got to talk to Sam Adams, Patrick Henry, George Washington, a couple of those ones. We're like, just kind of drum them up. Like, you pledge your lives, your fortunes, your sacred honor. But let me tell you about this. Miles? Come on. Yards? What the heck? Even when you guys are going to war, you go back to kilometers and you go back to meters. So
I think you should have that picture now.
All right, cool. Let me take a look. I don't have it on the WhatsApp. Okay, there we go. All right, the link just came in. Sweet. So this goes straight to your profile. That link. Oh, yeah, right up at the top of the profile. Excellent. So let me just pull it up here for everyone. Love it. Yeah. So to give it a little bit of context, Callum flew into Washington for Trump's 47th inauguration, and I had, I think, 28 people on the live stream all that day. And he walked around Washington wearing the costume of George Washington. I love that. It's awesome. Just awesome. And once again, by the way, everybody, right below the description on the show, if you're listening to the broadcast or listening to us as a podcast or you're watching the broadcast, This is the link to follow Callum, right? CallumSmilesMedia.com. Links off to everywhere.
Really need to update that website.
Yeah, exactly. You've just got the, hey, how you doing? I'm in Davos. And
I don't think I've touched it in over a year, mainly because all my work's on Vox Popular.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of going over to Belgium soon because a lot of the migrants are going from there now.
Oh, really? In Belgium? Yeah. They're ruining chocolate for me. Man.
Yeah.
Incredible. Well, let's see about the UFOs, right? You have a whole bunch of releases coming out. Do you think that people are going to be waking up in Britain? And let me just play this on Fox News. This was 3 days ago. And again, 2 hours before we came on, the Pentagon, Department of War, did another UFO and alien release drop, the second tranche, and I think this is to awaken everybody to the free energy, propulsion, anti-gravitics, etc. So pretty soon you and I can teleport to each other finally and be back in the Star Trek age. But here it is on Fox News talking about this, and Russia chasing UFOs with their fighter squadrons.
We just got our hands on new UFO docs. The Disclosure Foundation's FOIA'd the NSA for 300 new pages. We're still digging through them, but some of this stuff's shocking. According to the docs, back during the Cold War, the Soviets scrambled 13 MiG fighter jets to chase down one UFO. Another time, jets were deployed to hunt down 23 UFOs flying at 70,000 feet. The Russians probably thought we were coming to bomb them. Was it an American spy plane, a balloon, an alien? We don't know. Every time we get more files, we have more questions like, where are the little green men?
Where's the alien?
So that's my question to you.
Is it too much to ask that if you've got him in the back shed, just bring out the alien? Then we would all transition from asking one another, do you believe in aliens, to, well, yeah, of course, the alien's there.
Steven Spielberg's waiting for a call back. He made half his career off aliens, but they never stopped by.
I've made all these movies where I've kind of played an ambassador.
And here's probably one of the greatest pedophiles around, right? We'll find out soon.
Or your role, they've never shown themselves to me. Why is that? It's so unfair.
We all grew up watching his movies. Back then it felt like science fiction, but now, not so much.
When I made Close Encounters, for me, it was a story that I thought, wouldn't it be great when this movie comes out? Wouldn't it be great if people like this movie, they come out, they see Close Encounters, and wouldn't it be great if this someday could all come true?
Congress wants answers too. House Republicans think private contractors know something we don't. One congressman just sent a letter to MIT demanding a classified video called Flying Saucer Talk from the 50s. The first batch of the files dropped a few weeks ago. The Department of War says more are coming soon. Not sure what the holdup is. It's not like Pete's been busy with anything. But we're just scratching the surface. These files have been buried for decades, and the deep state doesn't want them out. But they're coming, and we're hearing they're pretty big.
But I think they're taking it so serious that we're gonna get to more tranches of more meaningful evidence, and I think eventually we'll get to that thing that moment that we've all only seen in movies, where a sitting president steps to a microphone and tells the world we're not alone in the universe.
Well, you got migrant invasions and ET.
I'd take ET.
Yeah. That's it. Let's go.
ET probably won't shit in the street and rape women.
Yeah, hopefully not. Yeah, exactly.
It can't be worse.
Well, to wrap this up on also a positive note to those points, this came out from Japan yesterday. Have you everybody knows about sushi rolls, right?
Yeah, how they get the migrants. It's blast genius.
You saw that? Okay, great. I'll show it here to everybody too. I didn't know if you had, so that's why I was waiting for the reaction. Here it is. Yesterday, Japan, just went full sweep. Illegal immigrants are being tracked down, rolled up, and shipped out at record speed. They're calling it sushi wrapping and deportation. Sounds like a joke, really isn't. Japanese reject globalism. I truly love this. A little bit of this. Yeah, how you doing?
Brilliant.
bring this back, everybody. Look, there's at least 3 officers on this guy. They're wrapping him. That's awesome.
You're gone now. You're gone now.
Yeah. And they just put it right over his head. That's it, man. They're out of our country. Oh man, so awesome. Get him down. Give him a stun just in case if he starts trying to fight. Stun him. Oh man, and I feel that's exactly where it's coming to. At this point in time, we're getting so close to it, and it's extremely necessary for the survival of all of us. Absolutely. So how about that? You know a couple of guys from your rugby team who'd be up for that? Go hit the streets and start doing some sushi rolls.
It's funny actually. Whenever I go to training or a match, the first thing they ask me is, "How many migrants have you got rid of today?" Because they know all the stuff we're going to go to Calais and stuff.
Oh man! So what's coming up for you again? Tell everybody so they can make sure they're following you at CallumSmilesMedia.com.
Well, I'm going to be going up to Makerfield, which is a constituency in Wigan in the northwest of England this coming week, because that's probably where the next Prime Minister is going to be sitting, which is Andy Burnham. He's currently the Manchester Mayor, for all you foreigners, even Brits who don't quite know how it works in terms of replacing the leader in the Labour Party, it's if 20% of MPs, sitting MPs in the Labour Party, call a vote of no confidence and back a candidate. So given the numbers that they've got, that would be 81. It triggers a leadership election. A man called Josh Simons has stood down so that there is a by-election in his constituency where basically a lot of the sitting MPs for Labour, they want Andy Burnham to replace Keir Starmer. Over 90 MPs in Labour have signed this letter saying, Starmer, you've got to go, because they just got absolutely obliterated in the local elections.
Yep.
And lost the Senedd. The Senedd is the Welsh Parliament. We had devolution back in 1999 where Scotland, Northern Ireland, so in Scotland it's called Holyrood, Northern Ireland it's called Stormont, and in Wales it's called the Senedd, but it's Senedd. They've got this weird dyslexic language in Wales. They just lost that for the first time ever since devolution, so they are not in power in Wales anymore. Wales has always been Labour's stronghold, even when it comes to the wider United Kingdom. That's where they've always had the most amount of votes. And yeah, so after that, so we had a load of local council elections in the UK, in England. You don't have all of them at the same time in England. So you have every year a different area has a load of local elections. So they got absolutely trounced in the local elections. They got demolished in the Welsh ones, and they didn't do too well in the Scottish. So yeah, a lot of sitting Labour MPs have said, it's time for you to go. We are getting shit on the doorsteps from people because of you. So a guy has stood down. So a MP called Caroline West. She came out over that weekend saying, right, if no one else is going to do it, I am going to challenge him myself. She put out this letter, over 90 MPs signed it. She's now stood down as challenging because she knows that someone else will. Because of what she did, it basically got other people to go, okay, it's happening now. So now a guy called Andy Burnham, the Manchester Mayor, Labour Manchester Mayor, is running to become an MP in Makersfield, where if he wins that, which I think he will, a lot of people are saying, oh, restore Britain, which is Rupert Lowe's party. It's the party I would back. I really like Rupert Lowe. He was
but
part
no
of
investors in Dubai calling him up to back him?
Well, no, because he's not a deadbeat dad.
Valid point.
So I think he's a really, really good MP, actually. He was part of Reform. Nigel kicked him out because basically he was saying what all of us normal people want. I think Nigel's actually just another Davos stooge. A really good laugh, but I wouldn't want him as PM. Well, he probably will be the next Prime Minister after Andy Burnham. But yeah, so in this by-election, we've got Andy Burnham running for Labour, who tried to run in the previous by-election, actually, but the NEC, so basically the Labour kind of governing body, with Starmer's say-so, didn't let him run because he sees him as his biggest threat. Whereas now, I think Starmer basically knows his time is up and he just kind of wants to go in the most dignified way possible. So yeah, you got Andy Burnham running for Labour, who will probably win it because it's a classic Labour area. It's a very white area, so it's old school Labour. But you got a lot of people there who were Labour, who've left Labour, but will now probably go back to Labour for this by-election, hoping this guy will basically bring Labour back to what they thought it was, which I'll be bitterly disappointed if it doesn't, but I think he will win this by-election and become the next Prime Minister.
Nice. Well, cool. Well, good luck to everybody on that one, mate. And good luck to you.
I'm hoping he wins because that just kind of accelerates it all. Everyone's like, why don't you want Restore or Reform to win? Like, because if he wins, that deposes Starmer almost instantly. Lots of people think that, Labour are going to be good again. They won't. And then people go, like, Labour supporters will go, okay, they're all just shit. It's all about that big realization.
Wild times. Right on. Well, you're doing incredible work out there. Really appreciate it, Callum. And I know you've got another several hours of work to do right now. It's late at night, Aaron. You've got to get off too. And I've got another show. We're going to do a live stream here in about an hour.
We're going to go do the day job, or rather the night job, because I don't want to be a bought and paid for journalist, so I have my own business.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, people can even donate to it at CallumSmilesMedia.com and follow all of your exploits there.
Yeah, there's all that thing, buy me a coffee, but I'd rather you buy me a pint.
Exactly. Yeah, and take care of yourself on the healing up. We need you in the fight still. Looking good, man. Looking good. Awesome. All right, everybody. And that's it for today. So thank you very much for joining us on the Fucking Friday. It's been a great time to get back.
Thanks for having me.
3 months. Yeah, you got it, my friend. Have yourself a good weekend ahead too. And everybody, just drop a comment, and you know exactly how to reach out to Callum. He responds to almost every message, but be careful the messages you send him publicly. You never know what you're going to get back. It's awesome. All right, everyone. Cheers. See y'all later.
Bye.
Thanks for joining us on the program, ladies and gentlemen. Please follow, subscribe, share this with 9 friends and family. And of course, if you enjoy our blinged Buddha firing red pills from his 9mm, let us know.